Hey, it's Barb, and um, this video is about describing cattle physically. And I thought it would be fun to get um, a picture of all of the same color cattle because when you walk into a herd with herd work or cutting, and the cattle are a lot the same color, and they start talking about the black cattle, you have to have some way when you watch the cattle to distinguish them. And actually, as you practice this, it becomes easier and easier because you start to put the solid blacks within the herd or the solid whites or the Herefords or whatever. When there's a number of the same colored cattle, you put them into sub categories. And one of the first ways is by size. So, of course, this is a herd of, there's some mama cows and there's some baby cows back here. So, this obviously isn't in the arena, but it was a picture that had a lot of physical characteristics in it. So, I chose this. But let's just pretend like these cattle were in the arena. And so we would start with size. So a lot of times there's larger and smaller cattle. So I would immediately think of the cattle that were smaller, like this cow here and smaller. And then the larger, and then, if this sometimes there is a really giant cow, so you might just call it giant black. You have to get down to the nitty gritty of the ears and all that. So there would be like big, medium. We just say these cattle are medium and small. And then within the big, medium, and small, three categories, then you can drill down. Usually the next thing would be color. So let's talk about the medium cattle since we'll just take these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. Let's talk about some color. So this cow here looks to me to have more sunburnt hair, and we might call it a brown cow. We mean black, that's the brown back, brown, black, medium cow. Or sometimes we say brown shoulders, like here, or we say brown breeches in the back. So that's one thing. The next thing that's real obvious to me, and I'm sure to you too, are the facial characteristics of these cattle. So it's good to look at the poll, and these all have something going on, except this one's pretty smooth. But we could call, and this is your own words, which makes it fun. You could call this one crown. And then, because in knowing that what you meant by that was kind of like a perfect, little spikes up there. Then you might want to call this one, we might just want to call it big spikes. Again, this is your own terminology and your help. It's just to help you recognize that cow. We could call this one big alfalfa and this one little alfalfa, meaning just one clump of hair on the top. And this one could be, like little triple crown. Again, these words are just meaningful to you. And then this cow has a little bit of bangs. So I think that's so. Digressing just a moment. First, it's size. At least this is my system. Then it can be color. Then most of the time, and a lot of times, it's facial characteristics. This cow, our brown cow, has a brown under the eyes, brown jaws, it looks like. This cow has, just more of a little bit of a brown, lower part of its head. And then the next thing is to look, and you can't see that from here, but, it's always good to look to see what's real visible from on horseback, like manure stains and length of tail. And of course, crown and little alfalfa and big alfalfa and spike and triple crown, that would all be very easy to see from on horseback. So I just wanted to go over a very informal way of being able to tell cattle apart. And when you're in the herd and your helper says, the black cow on the right, and there are 3 black cattle on the right, you speak up and say, might say middle, you could say, the brown body, you can be sure and communicate with your help so that you know that you're on the cattle, on the cow that they're talking about. Okay. Hope you enjoy. Oh, by the way, we could call this Haymouth. Just kidding, because it'd probably be gone. Anyway, just thought of that. It was a little joke. All of these black cattle are wishing you a happy day. Bye-bye.